Hello, everybody. This is Lee at Fresh Astrology, and we're doing a series on purpose. Your purpose, like why you're here. Why am I here? What am I here to do? Is a question that people come to from time to time. And astrologically, the year 2020 is all about um, coming home to who you are and why you're here, and sort of activating that part of you and empowering that part of you to move forward and to live more authentically. There's so much more. It's a very powerful turning point for each person on the planet and for the planet as a whole. And I've been trying to, through my channel, get the word out on, this idea of purpose. But joining me here today, just so you know who's here, are my co-founders and colleagues and friends from my coaching company, Camille. This is Mimi, has on the dark shirt. I don't know where they are on your screen, guys, but Mimi's in the dark shirt and Carolyn's in the lighter shirt.
Hey, guys.
And they don't know anything really much about astrology. I mean, they're starting to learn because we're talking about these charts, but because we have a series of these videos and we want you to, if you're interested, to go back and watch some of the others, because last time we recorded one on Carolyn and her chart, and we talked about her purpose and kind of what I'm calling the anti-purpose, what you don't want to be doing. And sometimes it's just really helpful to clarify what you don't want in great detail, but then to shift from the kind of complaining, naggy grind that sometimes you can get in when you're like, I don't want this and I'm tired of this. It's good to rant and get it down on paper, but then to shift toward what you do want. So it's useful in that particular way. And when Mimi and Carolyn and I go and do events and try to teach people about purpose and help them find ways to rediscover or uncover their purpose, which it's with them all along, it's with you from birth, is my belief, and it shows up on an astrology chart. Sometimes people get confused about what purpose exactly is. And so, I think it's helpful to talk about that. Some people kind of misconstrue and think that it's some big goal, like an achievement, a lifetime achievement kind of thing, but that's not what purpose is in the way we're talking about it. Some people think it's like this thing they have to go do. So it's like a mandate where you have to get out there and strive and work hard and feel stressed and to be on purpose. And that's not true either. In fact, when you kind of uncover your purpose and get closer to it, it can help keep you feeling less stressed and more resilient if you're clear about why you're here and what you're meant to do. And by do, again, it's not a striving, it's not a goal, but it's, we do get up every day and we do something. And so through your day, how do you live and express yourself through your authentic self, which we're kind of calling that purpose, wrapping that up in the purpose bow. So we're looking at Mimi's chart right now. And Mimi, we were talking a little bit about where you are right now, what you've been going through. And what's funny is Mimi's chart is very similar to Carolyn's on the surface, because Mimi's a rising Sagittarius, and we had Carolyn is a sun Sagittarius. And we're not sure of Carolyn's rising sign, so we just set it with Sagittarius in the first house. So their charts are going to look very similar if you watch that video. However, it's similar. There's some similarity with Mimi and Carolyn. There are also some distinctive differences, and this is true, of all of you out there, that not all Capricorns are exactly the same, not all Sagittariuses are, but there'll be themes that are the same. So along that line of thinking, Mimi, you want to just tell them a little bit about what you've been experiencing over the past year and kind of the point where you think you are right now?
Yeah, it was interesting in the last video when you were talking to Carolyn and you were sort of looking at the South Node and the idea of that representing sort of what you didn't want sort of not what your purpose is. And I feel like I'm just kind of coming out of that phase. Like the past few years, I've been shedding the things that that didn't light me up, that made me not feel aligned with why I was here. So I feel I've kind of I'm coming out of that phase. And so now I'm sort of standing on the precipice and looking out. So I'm excited that 2020 is a big year astrologically for big things to happen, because I feel like have spent this past decade getting poised for just this moment.
Perfect. Yes. And so if we look at Mimi's chart down here, we're kind of, because her natal north node is at, if you follow my cursor, it's Carolyn's dog, Ed. If you follow my cursor up here on the top part of the chart toward the right-hand side, you'll see her natal north node. And then that would put her natal south node down here. And this is the current north node out here in green, which would put the current south node down here next to Jupiter. So like Carolyn in our previous video, she's feeling that Jupiter on the south node. South node can also kind of represent the doorway to the past, and the north node is the doorway to the future. And Mimi was just discussing how she's been shedding away what isn't her. And that's really what's happening from our point of view. When you're finding your purpose, it's really a process of shedding what isn't you. And then what's left is the authentic you. And it's the way, I forget who says this about making a beautiful statue out of marble or wood, but the way an artist might look at a block of wood and let's say they're going to make, I don't know, a bird out of it. They create the bird by getting rid of what is not the bird. And that's how they come up with, the authentic, beautiful bird spirit in the wood.
Yeah. And so it's funny. I just wanted to add to that. I heard an artist one time, and it's because the bird was already there.
Yes.
So I love that analogy, because the purpose is already there, because I'm here because you're here on this earth at this specific moment in time. You are in purpose.
Yes.
And so the more you kind of align with that and not hear what everybody else in the rest of the world is thinking maybe you should be doing. Yes. It's already there. The bird is already in the stone.
The bird is in the stone, and your purpose is inside you, and you're the artist along with the planets in this case. The planets right now, this line up here with Pluto, these are the big conjunctions are happening down in this part of the chart. Jupiter's coming in now, but we've got 3 big kind of influential planets creating a lot of change, and they're like the tools in the artist's hands. You can use these tools just like you can use our coaching tools. You can, if you understand your astrology and how to use it, they're like tools. But the goal is to discover the bird within the stone, and you are your own artist in this case out there, and uncovering and crafting a way to get rid of what doesn't belong to you. The layers that have social layers that aren't really you, maybe some obligations that aren't really you, maybe friendships that don't serve you. There are a lot of ways to kind of release things that aren't really about the bird, the beauty of the bird in the stone. So, and at Camille, what we do, what Mimi and Carolyn and I spend a lot of time doing, is trying to develop courses and events to help people, figure out how to be their own sculptor. How can they carve away what isn't authentic to them, and how can they, in that process, discover, their own bird, with wings, and
Right.
their own beauty, their own, their own beauty and their own purpose.
Yeah. And we've developed some tools, some helpful tools to do that, like the bullet journal, the Purpose Shift bullet journal, which is just a simple tool. It's actually a lot of fun, an easy way to sort of just start playing with the idea of purpose. It's a free tool that we offer. It's also a good way to see if you're on the cusp of really being ready to do some heavier work around purpose and
definitely.
Yeah. So
you want to explain what a bullet, like, I know when Carolyn was first trying to explain to me what a bullet journal was, I was like, huh? I'm not sure what that is. Do you want to explain a little bit about what a bullet journal is and how we're using it in this particular way toward purpose?
So bullet journals are for sure having a moment right now. They're sort of out there everywhere, and they can be anything from a really blank canvas that you create your own journaling exercises in to something a little bit more directed. And we created one that's 7 days. It can be 7 consecutive days, or you can use it as you sort of fit it into your life. Certainly want you to work through all 7 days, but it's prompts that are directed towards purpose, with some very powerful coaching tools embedded in them, but they're also really fun. And it's a creative way to start playing with the idea of purpose.
Yeah.
It's free. We just give it to you because we love you guys and we want you guys to start having fun with us as well. It's a free download, and we'll put the link in here.
Yeah, and we're kind of on a mission, really. We know from the people who've shown up at talks that people are hungry for this. They really want to know. They want to live the life they're meant to live. And sometimes that's about the external things you get, like you want to buy a house, you want to have a family, you want to have money in the bank and all that. But really, at the end of the day, none of that means anything if you feel hollow and dissatisfied. And so purpose is a way to build a life that feels full, and along the way you can bring in some of those external things as whatever is authentic to you. Mimi, did you want to say anything else about the bullet journal or the
No, it just, and the sort of the way it came about was Lee working with us on a lot of these coaching tools that she has. And so when she was talking to us about 2020 and how that was a focus astrologically, that's when we were like, oh, I think we need to bring the bullet journal to that community. Mm-hmm. So we were excited. It's free. It's just something that we developed to help ourselves do it. So we wanted to be able to offer it to your astrology community too.
Yes. And so because I always say to my astrology peeps, like, astrology is great for framing and for validation. Like, you can kind of have this mental framework where you understand some of what's going on with you at any given time. And it can be very validating to learn, like, your forecast or something about your chart. But astrology, unless you understand it really, really, really well and want to use it this way, it's not as good at helping you create the change you want. And so these coaching tools, and the reason I got into coaching is to help people be able to take the steering wheel and to be able to be intentional about where they want to go. Because I have done, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of astrology readings over the years, if not thousands. And people definitely have, like, their heart's desire, the thing they're yearning for, and a feeling of not being in the right, like, not doing the right thing and being off base. That's a sign that you're off purpose. And I was really frustrated with astrology on its own in terms of being able to help people, because I knew I was giving them a reading, but I also knew I wasn't giving them the tools to go after what they want. And so that's how I got into coaching. And coaching is just really, unless you're working directly with a coach who also will give you tools to use, coaching is about, taking, like, exercises and tools, really practicing them and doing them. And then through that process, you begin to make some progress internally. And that's how you start to change your life. So this bullet journal, even though I had no idea what a bullet journal was, is just this very, Mimi put it together very artfully. It's just kind of, 7 days of exercises where you can use, crayons, pencils, colorful pens, or just, a black pen, whatever you want to use, and just kind of play around with these exercises. It's a serious topic, your purpose, but the exercises don't have to be serious and unfun. They're fun.
Right. It doesn't have to be daunting.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you, Mimi, for letting us look at your chart. And
yeah, that was fun.
We'll have the link below. You just click on the link, and then we send the PDF for the bullet journal to you in your inbox. And you can download it at that time. If you don't want to download it, you can just read it on your screen and just get a pad of paper and do the exercises on your own paper if you don't want to print things out, but you'll get the prompts in PDF form so you can read them, or you can print it out and play with it that way too. All right, guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.